Lost my fingernail this weekend.
Delicious. Please continue.
It's been an ongoing development. I kind of took pictures. I've debated posting like progression.
Oh, like a time lapse, basically.
But then I'm like, no, I don't want to be one of those people who needs attention for my personal health journey. You know what I mean? Like there's very few people who should be allowed to do that. Like a truly life-changing disease.
Okay, not saying anything morally, but like on your social media of your preference, what kind of health journeys do you like seeing?
If somebody has like, well, it's not that I like seeing them, but it's like, it's good to know. It's good to be in the know, right? If somebody's had like a life-changing injury and, you care about them, so you want to know like, hey, how's so-and-so doing?
Yeah.
But if it's like, got food poisoning last night, I'm feeling a little under the weather, that kind of thing, is like, come on.
Some people
call your mommy.
We make fun of it, but some people's community is the people
what we complain
Facebook.
about.
Misery loves company.
Yeah, it's real.
If you ate some bad Taco Bell, I don't want to know about it.
Okay.
That's
what about someone who was like 600 pounds and now they're 200 pounds? You don't like seeing that?
Yeah,
on social media?
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that's a major change in somebody's life.
Yeah.
I'm there for as long as there's not too much exposed, I'm there for the before and after.
Man, that's real. That's real.
That's great. But I mean, come on, a smashed fingernail and you're like, that just seems.
If it's really gnarly, then
attention.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
Did you ever watch this show? There were only like 4 episodes ever on Animal Planet. Animal Planet was the king of like putting out 4 episodes of a show and then rerunning those episodes. Oh. And so as a kid, I watched them all the time. I think it was called Untamed and Uncut. And it was like really gory, gruesome things that animals did, either to humans or to each other, and on camera. And when you're a kid, you're like, whoa, that's so cool.
Then you get older and you have like a sense of... you no longer have your sense of immortality. Or you're
like, oh, that's me. That lion's here.
Ow.
That's how you know how old you are. It's nothing to do with how many times you go around the sun. It's like if you see Untamed and Uncut, how do you feel about it? Right. Or like Knoxville Raceway, they have sprint cars, right? And sprint has tons of crashes. Every evening there's a crash, and how mature you are is directly correlated with
if you're going versus
just trying to see if they're okay, and
that's a good little measurement.
It's like trying to figure out if you're in the north or south. It's whether McDonald's has sweet tea or not. It has nothing to do with like actual lines.
Yeah
that's
a good point.
Here's what I really want to talk to you about today. Gas stations. I've really been changing my mind about the best gas stations in the Midwest.
Are we rolling the main topic now already?
No.
You say you haven't even done the intro yet.
No, not the main topic. Okay. I mean, this could be, I guess, the main topic.
He made me print out 4 pages about gas stations.
And it's because he got like some little surcharge that he already tried fighting.
And I lost it.
And they doubled down. Actually, sir, we should have charged you an additional 25 cents.
Okay, if I told you a story that I had the best interaction with someone at a gas station, had a great conversation, it was really cool, and I left and I was like, man, the world's such a great place. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy there. What gas station would you think I was talking about?
Not a Shell.
No.
Nothing good happened.
Not a
Shell.
Not a BP. Definitely not a BP.
Good place to get your card stolen is at a Shell.
I'd say a Buc-ee's. People seem enthusiastic about Buc-ee's.
Have you ever been?
That's I would say Buc-ee's or Quick Star. Quick Trip in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But I got to say, the Quick Stars in Iowa, I think, are even a little like they outdid their home turf. You know what I
mean? That's true. Dude, Quick Star is something else. I will say their chicken tenders are like, nah, but their bone-in chicken, that's really good.
I've had it before.
Yeah, real and very cheap for how good it is. So I'm excited for
confinement chicken.
All the Midwest to be fed by Cisco through gas stations.
Yeah.
Okay, those are good ones. Now, what if I told you I had a terrible interaction and that like their product was on the floor? The shell? What?
Shell or actually, even though they've been around probably as long as Shell has, marathons are actually pretty clean. You go in there and they're not bad. BP probably would be my.
BP's terrible. Man.
I
can't do BP.
Yeah, I'm not a BP fan.
What was the Valero in California? I hated those too. Not a big fan.
Out in Montana, they have Montana's version of Casey's is what I would liken it to. Is called Town Pump, and they're pretty nice. They're pretty nice.
Riley, where do you go?
I'm gonna say any pre-1980s Casey's.
Those are the bad ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
With the light, the blinky lights, and
A town with more than 2 Casey's, you can guarantee all will suck.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, it's like because who are we competing with? You know.
Yeah, that's fair. Knoxville has.
I'm gonna call out the South Casey's in Pella.
Not impressed.
I like
Do
that
not
place.
go there.
The Casey's is pretty hit or miss because some of them are unbelievably nice. You know, they're like
if they're the only Casey's in town, they're good.
oh, interesting. No, Knoxville has one good Casey's. We got
How many
one.
other Casey's do they have?
3.
They have 3.
They have
total?
2. They have 2 nice Casey's now because they just built a new one. No, they have 4 Casey's, which is crazy. They need to tear one of those down and
Well, take the oldest one and fold it in.
make it into a McDonald's or something, or Dollar General. Love having.
See,
Dollar General.
I think Casey's got complacent. They were king of the hill for 10, 15 years, and then Quick Star came in and
Oh yeah,
they got caught napping.
Casey's is interesting because they are carried by breakfast pizza. I mean, I've never seen
Famous for
something
pizza.
carry so much on their shoulders. You know,
Specifically breakfast pizza? You don't.
specifically breakfast pizza.
Interesting.
Yes, absolutely.
How many slices of Casey's breakfast pizza do you have a year, Nicholas?
Now, not too many.
We're gonna let him do the math. It's gonna take a little bit. How many do you think you have? Less than 20, less than 10, less than 5.
I would say less than 10, just because the individual breakfast pizza slices aren't nearly as good as like getting a breakfast pizza.
That's
They're always
not
dry
true.
when you get there.
Well,
You get a whole breakfast pizza on occasion?
Yeah, that's
I
probably.
was talking slices.
No, one time a year I'll probably get like a breakfast pizza. Yeah, and
man,
just,
no,
like,
that's just not true. You just need
disgusting.
to know who's working.
I'm less
and
than 5. I'm less than 5 slices a year.
And they're probably all with me in the car.
Yeah.
You know, headed places. No, I pass right by Casey's on the way to work. I go in there not once a week anymore. Honestly, it's like if I go, it'll be 2 or 3 times a week, and then I won't go for 2 months. But when we were flipping the house and we didn't have a kitchen, didn't have water or anything.
That was breakfast. That was like the refrigerator.
I in 2 years probably had 250 slices.
Oh,
I mean, it was like every day I'd go in and I'd get my slice. And for a while, when I still had a good metabolism, right after I got out of college, I'd get 2 slices. It's unbelievable. I can't believe I did
Wouldn't it
that.
be great if our metabolisms just stayed? Man, you can go and watch this recent episode of Nicholas and me at Skips,
It's
and
so
we
bad.
just look like it's my 600-pound life sitting on
Yeah.
the couch.
Yeah, the Dilbury Pills
fact-
boy,
A lot of people refer to us to Dr. What's his name? Is it Dr. No?
Doctor. No, I don't know.
oh, is that the bariatric
Yeah.
guy?
The
Oh,
like
okay.
Indian guy that says no to everything that you eat.
You are fat because you eat so much. That guy should be everyone's life coach.
And I listened to a podcast recently, and the guy on there was like, GLP-1s are going to change the world way more than AI. And then the dude listening or interviewing him was like, no way, you're crazy. And he's like, well, think about it. If everyone overweight, lost a bunch of weight, and just felt 20% better, think about like how much they don't get done the 2 hours after lunch when they're digesting it, or they get tired sooner, or in the evenings they crash harder, like all this stuff, sugar crashes, all this stuff. He's like, if they just hadn't, like if everyone that was overweight increased their output by 10%, like the economy wouldn't be ready for that boom. And it was interesting. It was an interesting
Yeah,
take.
it is interesting.
But should we actually get started?
Can you pass the breakfast pizza first, please?
We are not sponsored by. Oh, there's one more thing I want to say. Come and Go got bought by Maverick, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
now there's Mavericks all over Iowa. Well, Come and Go was started by the Kraus company, which think that was their flagship investment, but they like own a bunch of different companies.
Oh,
and they sold that one for a couple $1 billion. They love Prairie. They are the biggest donors to the water quality monitors things
that's
with,
right.
with Dr. Larry. And
Were they even above the Walton family?
The Walton family, I think so. I think it was like a few $1 million out of the $5 million. I might be wrong. But yeah, it was like millions of dollars that they put towards donating. They didn't do all of it, obviously, but yeah. And they love Prairie. The Krause building near downtown Des Moines has a rooftop Prairie. If you go to Hoxie Native Seeds Instagram, you can see a bunch of photos on it.
Didn't John Judson install that one?
John Judson put it in. And get this.
Are we supposed to go see him soon?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Next week?
Yeah. I said that at lunch
My first
today.
day back?
Yeah, I said that. Kent doesn't listen to me.
Well, yeah, you don't listen to me either because you asked where I was going, and I told you twice.
Wait, you're leaving? No, but I just wanted to give a shout out to the Krause group.
On my vacation.
Yeah. I told both Riley and Kent, I said, I was in a mood where I wanted a vacation, so I do a lot of projecting.
How do I justify this?
So I said, you guys have to go on a vacation this summer. We should get started. Coffee Time Wednesdays with the Prairie Farm Podcast.
Can't hit us with the jingle.
Do-do-do-do-do.
When I was in college, I worked for a marketing company, and it was a small marketing company, and my boss, he was a really cool guy, and I remember him taking me to lunch one day and telling me, Nicolas, the most important thing you'll do in business is name your company. I don't know if that's true or not, but you better believe I was blown away when I met the company Iowa Cover Crop. I mean, it's a brilliant name, but it's a little misleading because you might think, oh, okay, they do cover crops. But they actually do a lot more than cover crops. Basically, if it's not corn and beans, they probably have it. You're talking about grains, alfalfas, lawn mixes, cover crop mixes, forage mixes. They do all sorts of things. In fact, they even have CRP and native mixes. I really like the people who provide those for them. If you are looking for anything that's not corn and beans and seed and you're in Iowa or a state touching Iowa, I highly, highly recommend looking into Iowa Cover Crop. That's iowacovercrop.com. Oh, and they have a new podcast. I really enjoy it. They didn't ask me to put this in the ad. I just wanted to because I've really enjoyed their podcast. Super informational. If you're looking to learn more about cover crops for your farm and how they can apply for your specific situation, you're going to want to check it out. It's called Under the Covers. Again, that's iowacovercrop.com. Welcome back to the Prairie Farm Podcast, Coffee Time Wednesday. I'm your favorite host, Nicolas Lirio, with your favorite co-host, Kent Boucher.
Hey.
And your favorite co-host to the co-host, Riley Rosendahl.
Howdy.
Man, once again, the prairiefarm.com has our forum. There are some really good niche questions. In the last week, we've had several really awesome, very specific questions. Thank you to everyone who is doing that.
Yeah, keep on going over to the forum.
And it's fun. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm in a rut. I'm like, I just know so much about Prairie, but then you get those niche questions. It forces me to learn a lot more or dig up more information.
Plus, you can track your likelihood of getting a personal response from me or Riley by just looking at the weather forecast for Linville, Iowa. If it's going to be a lot of rain or a lot of heat, I'll be in the office. Probably still not checking my email, but responding to.
There may be some responses during this historic heat wave.
Yeah, man, it's toasty. It is toasty out there. Toasty, man. You guys are listening to this Wednesday. Wednesday's a very hot day. We're recording this on Monday. We're actually at the Athene Watershed Conference while you're listening to this, likely. Mm-hmm. I'm on a panel about emerging voices for conservation. With Joy. I'm hanging out with Joy.
Oh, cool.
So while you're listening to this, I'm probably with Joy. But we've talked about the Farm Bill so much, but the Senate got their hands on it and they were hanging out with it last week. And we can't not talk about that, of course. Now I've got one more thing, which I'm sure you guys saw in the title. But Chair John Boozman, the Senate Agricultural Committee chair, released a draft of the Agriculture Act of 2026, basically Farm Bill 2.0, which includes SNAP, food stamps,
That is food stamps. SNAP and food stamps are the same.
What's the school lunches? But this one also has like a bunch of defense stuff in it. We're not going to get into that. I don't know about that stuff. I refuse to look into it. There are people much smarter than me that know about that thing. So we'll talk about the farm bill part of it.
Wait, the defense stuff is
It's in the same bill.
The same bill that is proposing updated funding for the farm bill. Mm-hmm. It's not included within the farm bill itself, the defense stuff.
Well, no, you're right, but the farm bill already got.
There's a bill, 2 subheadings. One is farm bill, one is defense.
To be honest, I don't know exactly how it works. Technically, the farm bill was already passed, and it had like all this stuff, but it was bare bones. It passed earlier.
Oh, it was like a little. It was a little temporary.
Well, no,
thing.
and so they're calling this the Farm Bill 2.0 because it actually has what traditionally the Farm Bill had in it.
I thought that the first thing that they were looking at didn't get passed. It didn't either get fully, like it made it through one branch but not the next. But I could be wrong on that.
I might also be wrong. We should look this up so you guys
Or
have
not
real
one branch,
information.
one
Nicolas,
house, but not the other.
Nicolas, edit this out. It may sound weird, but I actually ask my friends about their finances, but not only about how their finances are, but specifically things like how much money do you have in your bank account? Are you saving for your kids' future? Do you have a retirement plan that's in line? And the reason I ask these questions is because I know that finances put more stress on most people than anything else. And one of the biggest alleviators of stress from finances in my wife and I's life was when we switched to McKay Insurance. Now, we did this way before they were a sponsor of the podcast. But once we did it, we got our life insurance lined up. We got our health insurance for a much better deal. And we were able to bundle everything that we had. And we saved a bunch of money. We're actually able to connect with the people who are giving us our insurance and helping us do our financial planning. I highly recommend McKay Insurance. That's McKayInsagency.com. So what I was remembering, and we actually talked about this a couple months ago, so now I feel like an idiot. The Big Beautiful Bill included a lot of the stuff the Farm Bill normally has. And so this go around is actually to cover all the stuff that is normally in the Farm Bill, but wasn't included in the big
till later.
Yes,
The stuff that was missed. They're coming back around, taking care of it now.
Yeah, and we have a episode coming out with Kevin Kincaid about Big Beautiful Bill and what it's going to do to rural hospitals. He gets really in depth about like what actually will happen to the money and what will happen to rural communities because of it.
And we
Really
talk a lot
interesting.
about nuclear submarines, which is really interesting.
I was shocked how long
For like
we talked
35
A
minutes.
little sidebar.
Yeah, I mean,
it's-
how often do you get asked someone about their time on a nuclear submarine?
Yeah, that guy spent like years on submarines.
Pre-marriage for him. All right, so Farm Bill 2.0, it does have things included like defense stuff, but here are the things that matter for us on CRP's side. And this, in my opinion, is very good news. The bill reauthorizes CRP through 2031 officially, not just a temporary extension. And it maintains the 27 million acre cap nationwide, which we haven't hit anyway. And I wish that would have been bumped up, but they are improving payment. They are raising payment limitation from 50,000 or this version of the Senate, like what was proposed, is raising it to $125,000 per person. And the reason that's a big deal is because $50,000 in the 80s is about
I did see that.
$120,000
Now you
bucks.
say that, and I was like, and deer hunters rejoice.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that own rec ground that
Yeah.
really have no interest in cropping a lot of the acres. They just want
Absolutely.
the habitat.
And just to get, I mean, there's a lot of people who they max it out and they go, okay, well, then I guess I'll corn and bean the rest.
Right.
And now they're literally going to be able to double it.
Right.
Now, I think there will be a fight for the last 2 or 3 million acres, but Iowa corn and soybean acres often tend to get preference, like general CRP.
I didn't think of that implication as far as we never hit like the full allowance of what's provided by CRP, and now there's probably enough rec land owners that are gonna put a dent in. I don't think it'll be enough to close the gap probably, but I bet it takes a big chunk out of it.
Well, it brings up an interesting point with grassland CRP. It doesn't pay well enough. No one in Iowa is going to do it because it doesn't make sense on their land. They do it out west.
Actually, I disagree with you on that. I think if people knew about grassland CRP it would be gobbled up instantly because you literally have to do like nothing. You just have to have a stocking rate that is on there for enough months of the year. Don't have to plant any seed. It just has to be in perennial cover.
Yeah.
And you get an extra $100 an acre.
Yeah.
So like,
so you're saying if people flipped over,
like our neighbors over here that have cows out in their pastures, that qualifies. Like
really?
That ground qualifies for grassland, as I understand it. And I've talked to some pretty. So either I have just like poor comprehensive ability, I just drone out and start drooling while they're talking, or zone out while they're talking. As I understand it, the barrier to get in is very little, and it's just like, there's literally an extra 100 or might even be $120 an acre.
So you're saying if someone already has 40 acres of pasture, they should
they should look into it. Yeah. And maybe, I mean, you have to have stocking rates that are what they, approve of.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why, like, first of all, people don't know about it, but then the people that do know about it that choose not to do it, it's probably just because I don't want the government telling me what to do, which is, I understand.
We definitely have listeners who are in Iowa and have thought about grassland CRP and did or didn't do it. Shoot us an email on why. We'd love to know. Yeah. Riley, did you look into grassland CRP?
No, I wasn't aware of it at the time, but I would assume what Ken said is correct, is that stocking rate plays a lot into it, and like drought. I don't know how drought figures into it too. The strictness or lack thereof in the rules is probably what would drive people away from it, would be my guess.
So that's one
I think it's also fairly new, isn't it?
The grassland CRP versus the general.
I think it's like the last 10 years, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know I don't know when it was implemented. It was before when we started here, but it was the general and continuous has been the main two for a long time.
Just talk to Matt Allen about it.
Yeah. The proposal includes also, this is really exciting, a 50% cost share for a lot of the mid-contract management, including burning. It's a big deal. That's very exciting. That means that there's going to be more burning on the prairie, and it cost share for grazing infrastructure, so fences and fencing. There would be cost share. I don't know how that is involved with the virtual fencing or the collars. I don't know anything like what they would do that with, but and it would allow, or this proposal is pushing for grazing to be allowed on general and continuous CRP, which is only allowed now in emergencies, like stated emergencies. If basically it's up to the district conservationist or whoever's writing the plan. If it makes sense in the plan, they can write it in where you can graze it at a specific rate or, whatever makes sense for what they're planning for. So if it's pheasant wildlife, they're going to say, okay, you can graze it in a way that promotes pheasant wildlife, not so that you can have your 100 head of cattle on there and make a bunch of money off of CRP, which I think makes sense and helps build margin for the farmers and helps build better prairie. So big fan of that. But they call it the universal infrastructure cost share. So basically anything that they think cost share would help the overall ecosystem for the wildlife adaptive management practices of CRP.
And that's in addition to EQIP money too.
Yeah.
That's already out there. So
can you get EQIP money? Can you get EQIP money for land and then get CRP payments on top of it?
That's a good question.
Was its own thing.
To buy land or something?
No, like EQIP. If
you wanted to put in like infrastructure.
Oh, I was thinking like pollinator plots. People have EQIP like programs, and they come to us and they get pollinator seed. Usually just an acre or two.
Where you're doubling up on cost share.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I would assume not.
I think there are allowances though for like putting food plots into your CRP specifically.
Yeah, that's true. Would that be EQIP?
And I don't know if.
I'm
not sure if EQIP pays for that, but you
might be
able to pair it with like a state program like REAP or something.
No, I think that's CRP because when people, that's part of the wildlife CRP. Like if you have CRP specifically for wildlife. So the big thing,
all this stuff is easily found out, but we're just sitting here not doing that. Sorry.
The big things are obviously the margin, the economic margin that this would help provide for people on their planting, getting more CRP out there, the allowing for fire to be cost shared, and then of course,
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
the grazing to, even if it's just on grassland CRP, building out the infrastructure, it's marrying CRP and grazing, and it's heading, whether it fully allows it or not, it's heading in a direction that we really like to see. So, yeah, those are the big updates coming up. Now, if we have a big influx of CRP, that would be good for us. It would not be good for NRCS employees who lost 17% of their colleagues or whatever it was. That would be very overwhelming. And in the Midwest, there are 144 counties. I'll repeat that again. 144 counties, which is more counties than all of Iowa. 144 counties have 0 NRCS staff. So there's counties around them that are having to bear the burden of several counties. Not good.
Yeah, and then the accountability element of it, right?
Yeah,
it's how do you check to make sure the practices are being implemented and everyone's following through with what they say they're going to do. And,
yeah, which is really important to do. So, all right, any other thoughts on before we move on?
I saw a post. That's where I saw this. I saw a post from a large hunting magazine social media page, which was good. The only thing about it was, and I actually commented on it, so you can go and find my Karen comment.
Nice.
No, I tried to be nice and well worded, but I think so often, myself included, as a hunter or outdoors person, can be so caught up in the habitat side of CRP. But I think it's important to think, and I think it was Hal who was, Hal Herring, in our recent interview with him, was talking about some of the other purposes that come from CRP that apply to every American. And one that I had never heard of before, but it makes sense, was CRP. Yes, habitat is a part of it. First and foremost is water quality, air quality, soil retention. Those are probably the first things, right? Then I would say wildlife habitat, but also on top of that is it helps alleviate the problems associated with oversupply on the commodity markets. And there is ground held in reserve in an emergency food crisis situation. Now we don't really think of that being a realistic problem now as much as it would have been in the 80s with the tail end of the Cold War.
Yeah.
But if there was ever a time where America truly had to pull within itself, and we're not importing anything from our neighbors or other places around the world, we have to truly provide all of our own, especially meat production, because we get so much of that from South America. We would have the acres available to do that. And I think that, and then people also need to understand too, which I think our listeners probably understand this much better than the average American, but that, because I saw another comment on there that was like, well, this is, the average American just needs to get on board with conservation. We don't need to depend on the government to do this for us. And sure, in a perfect world, yes, but we're never gonna reach that nirvana of being an American citizen. You know what I mean? And I think to continue having CRP be around in perpetuity is a good thing. And if that's going to happen, then the average American has to see CRP as something beyond pheasant hunting. You know what I mean? They have to see it for all these other things that it gives us. And furthermore, as Carol used to say to you, this is CRP is a way for the average American to participate in having clean water, better air quality, healthier climate, soil, hanging on to our soils, and wildlife habitat, right? And so it is a way that allows somebody who's living in Manhattan to participate in and being a part of the solution to a very big, I guess you'd say, issue more than problem.
Yeah.
And so I think it's, if we're going to hang on to that program, people got to see it for its entirety of what it benefits them. It's not just good for the pheasant hunters, and it's not just good for the farmers that they can get money on acres that aren't really that productive for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Riley, if we all of a sudden there was an embargo from every country to us, what animals would we start sticking on CRP? Because it couldn't be cattle, right? We physically can't stock that many.
Sheep. I think that there was a figure I saw. I'll butcher it just for the sake of somebody in the comments actually correcting me. I think it's like we had a deficit of like 7 million sheep that were imported into America and consumed.
Huh? Really?
Versus what we actually produced.
Are those coming from?
I'm not sure
Europe
where they're all
and the Middle
coming
East,
from,
or are they
but
coming from South America?
But regardless, it didn't say what countries they were importing from. I'm sure you could find out if you looked in like the USDA. They probably have some sort of. But the number of sheep producers has gone down and down and down since like the 50s, 60s.
That's really interesting.
So,
Man, is it just because we don't eat it?
and sheep eat broadleaf stuff and would do great on CRP as compared to cattle who can be a little more finicky.
And I'm sure some of that too is not just meat production that they have in mind. Like there's, Riley's talked about this. There's definitely arable acres that are currently in CRP.
Yeah, you can throw broccoli down on there and all sorts of stuff. And honestly, like at that point, corn, like edible corn or storable calories of some sort becomes a much better option.
Plus, sheep multiply so much faster. If you're talking about a food emergency, what can take rough forage, which is what CRP generally is? It's rough ground in the first place. Like if it's highly erodible, throw sheep or goats or something like that on there. Is it glamorous? Is it a prime rib or a huge T-bone? No, but
that's not what you're looking for in an emergency.
In a food shortage, I think it'd do the trick.
Yeah.
That would be my go-to.
If we're getting meat, 75% of it comes from, if it's not from the U.S., 75% of sheep are from Australia, and 25% of the pounds come from New Zealand. But if we're getting live sheep, the vast majority come from split between Canada and Mexico, according to the USDA.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is interesting. Wool almost fully comes from the U.S. because you literally have to pay to get rid of your wool here in the U.S. So they have sheep, they're trying to do that. But
that's why sheep are such a rising.
And hopefully we would never.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I'm not saying that I would hope this could happen so we could solve this problem use one problem to solve another problem.
Yeah.
But I wonder if in a food emergency, if the feral hog problem of the South
interesting.
would like
but don't hogs have like terrible worm issues?
Yeah, but if you, again, in an ememergency situation, you just cook that
to 185.
Eating shoe leather.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see like if everyone's focus was so hard on calories, if the feral hogs would just like dry up to like their
feral cattle would. Deer probably would, honestly.
Yeah, because we have done that with other wild animals, But I think, and I also want to remember this in the context of a year and a half ago. Remember when everyone was talking about Project 2025, and there were some things that were done by this administration that even though I think it was President Trump himself had said, I'm not doing Project 2025. But then when all the Doge stuff started happening, it seems like there was, of course, all the public land stuff that started happening. It's like, it's starting to look like Project 2025, which called for a end to CRP, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
To me, it is very encouraging to see that this Farm Bill 2.0 is extending CRP, because it takes away that fear that CRP was going to be done away with.
Yeah. I want to say, I'm not defending Project 2025. Separate from that conversation, I understand the argument. I don't agree with it, but I do understand the argument of fix your fiscal house first and then the rest of it. Like,
well, that's not what I'm talking about.
No. But I want to follow this point through, where a lot of the defenders of Doge and like a lot of the cuts that were made and then brought back in a very inefficient way, if your house is drowning in finances, there's probably lots of the likelihood that there's health issues, issues of managing yourself and your household in general. They're probably the same reason you have financial issues, you have the other ones. I know this sounds stupid, but fixing the finances, I wrote a paper in college basically asked this exact question. If you're struggling in every area of your life, what area should you fix first? And there's been some pretty intense studies on it. Basically, the one that lasts the longest is finances. So if you take that away from a household and look at a country, which obviously is not the same thing, but I understand where people say, hey, whatever it takes, we need to fix our finances, not ripping out public lands, because that's a very short-term fix.
Well, that wasn't just what Project 2025
No. Again,
about.
I'm separating from Project 2025. I'm not trying to defend that document at all. I read it. But the
You're saying some of the Doge stuff you were okay with.
No, not even that. I would say more the sentiment on why so many people supported Doge going into it. Like why so many people were really excited about it. I understand the hey, we got to fix finances, but it's the way that it was done. And I wouldn't love to say it would be one thing if they did a terrible job.
The way it ended up being was, man, guys, we are running out of money. Yeah, what should we do here? I know. Let's get less oil changes. That's kind of like that's kind of what ended up happening, when in reality it was like, well, let's maybe stop buying so much ice cream. We were hitting at other necessity things that trying to say, like the NRCS conversation we had just 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. But I guess what I'm trying to say is both conservation issues, total soil degradation, where the point where you can't farm in full states, or water quality causing cancer and killing people. Terrible, terrible issue that causes terrible suffering. Financial destitution that has happened to many countries in the past. Also terrible and horrible and leads to poverty and a lot of suffering. So I don't agree with it, but I understand when people make the argument, hey, just no matter what, we got to fix our finances first. Then we'll come back to this other conservation stuff, which I hear that quite a bit. I when I'm talking about these things with friends and other people.
Yeah, I mean, I understand where they're coming from, but I would say I think that's an unsophisticated way of looking at it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think it just depends on the shade you put it in. I mean, does it make sense to sell public land to pay off debt? No. But
got to stop the spending machine.
Yeah, I think it's just a case by case thing. It's hard.
Yeah, it's too bad our case just happens to be the largest spender in human history. The $7 trillion that is the American economy that loves IKEA and fast food. All right.
And ice cream before oil changes.
Speaking of money, let's talk about littering.
Oh.
The United States spends. Anybody have a guess? Did you see, Kent, how much it was?
No.
Anybody? How much do you think we spend on? This is the United States as a people group, not the government.
On litter cleanup?
On litter cleanup.
The American public.
I thought they had a lot of the Adopt a Highway and the chain gang deal.
So that's in this math, and yes, they're not paying those
but
people.
I guess technically they're paying the people
transport,
supervising.
and so yeah, it's a cheap way to clean up litter, but there is still money that's involved. But again, we're not talking about necessarily just government entities that's included, but also like private companies. Like if we have to pay someone to clean up the trash along our roadside here at Hoxie, kind of a thing.
Yeah. I'm going to say just because this is a number that's thrown around a lot, $1 billion.
Okay. That's a good guess. That's a really good guess. Riley?
I'd say at least $5 billion.
$5 billion, according to the Keep America Beautiful 2026 National Litter Study. I didn't know that was a thing, but I stumbled upon it in some readings earlier this week or last week, and I thought it'd be fun to bring up. $11.5 billion.
Whoa.
And we don't spend that much on CRP, just in case you're wondering.
Wow.
But litter as a mass volume has gone down 34% since 2020, like dramatically down.
Wait, since 2020?
Just since 2020.
Was that just because 2020 was such a bad outlier?
I wonder. That's what. But I think
remember all the masks you'd see all over the ground everywhere in 2020.
Well, and everyone was getting everything to go. There was plastic everywhere.
Single use. Yeah.
I don't know if they do this study every year. It might have been they did it in 2020 and then they did it again in 2026.
I know it's gone down significantly since the 70s.
Well, yeah, we don't have like
since
rivers on fire anymore, you know. Yeah. And, cigarette butts are the most littered thing in the world. 4.5.
Come on, cig smokers, don't let me down like that.
You just need to start smoking
you guys.
already. Yeah.
Just don't be littering. Come on.
4.5 trillion cigarettes get littered every year.
I believe that.
Is that crazy?
You ever pull up? Well, if you're like me and you don't have air conditioning in at least one of your vehicles, you're always driving with your window down. If you ever pull up at like an intersection in a it's got to be like Des Moines sized city. Just look down on the ground right next to where you're sitting at a light, and you'll see like a mountain of cigarette butts.
That was one of my earliest memories. Is I was asking my grandpa what the little triangle in the front of the truck, like the front seat, definitely wasn't supposed to be sitting in the front seat. Asked him what it was, and he was like, "It's so we can smoke and get the cigarettes out." And I don't know if that's true, but trucks don't have them anymore. There's like a little triangle in the front. Well, you know what I'm talking about, Riley? It turns like this instead of raising up and down.
It's a compartment for cigarette butts. Is that what you're talking about?
No, it's like a window.
Ashtray?
No, it's a window.
Oh, those windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they used to call those wing wangs.
Whatever they used to call them. I was always told they're for cigarettes.
Never heard that.
Yeah, they're little vents. Yeah. I didn't know that they were for cigarettes. I always thought it was just another way to get airflow because nobody had a working air conditioner in that era of vehicle. You had one coming off the lot, and then it was dead.
Yeah. That might be. I could see my grandpa just telling me a story for fun. He does that.
I thought you were talking about the hazard lights. I was like, no, that's for.
I thought you were talking about those little like turnout compartments. Like no, the little compartments that used to be in the dash that had it was an ashtray built in. Yeah.
So
do you think EVs will have ashtrays in them?
Oh wow, that's interesting.
I doubt
it. Yes, in the back.
Man, you could have a high-powered cigarette lighter in that EV.
I'm telling you guys, cars are gonna have like couches in them. You know what I mean? People are gonna stop.
But by the time I can afford an EV, you'll be like lighting your cigarette off of the sparking battery on the back. Lighting off the positive terminal on the back.
No AC. Stick your cigarette down in the battery compartment.
Kent's buying a 2019 EV under the table in 2050. Like doesn't want to register it or anything.
I don't want a car payment, man.
Nobody's gonna own a vehicle in 30 years. Most people won't own a vehicle in 20. That's my guess.
Except for like for recreational stuff, probably.
Recreational stuff, and then basically like apartments, people will own swaths of them. They'll have hordes of vehicles that they'll own.
Yeah. How soon did you say? 20 what?
I think that it will be illegal to drive on the interstate in 10 years. I think that very few people, except the Midwest will kind of be late. The rural areas of the Midwest will be late on this. Very few people will own cars in 20 years. Think about New York. No one has owned a car for 30 years, you know? And
20 years.
So 20 years, the vast majority of people won't own a car. And in 30, like it's very likely that people buying a car now, this is their last or second to last car that they buy.
Hot take.
That is a really hot take, man.
I don't know if it's that hot.
I think I'm with you on the interstate thing, and a lot of people disagree with us on that. I've heard through personal conversations.
Oh yeah,
but I just think look
at the graph.
It would be an easy enough distinction when you get on those interstates. They're already 80-mile-an-hour parking lots. What's interesting is Iowa is in the process of raising our highway speed limits.
They did
from 55 to 60.
Does it kick in
July 1?
July 1 maybe.
Yeah. July 1 or July
fiscal
2nd.
year.
Interesting. I wonder how much our state is spending just on changing those signs.
I think it's $70 million.
Okay.
They're putting stickers over all the signs until they replace them.
Okay.
So if you're planning on, getting some public signage shotgun shots off right now, which by the way, I noticed one of our the stop signs on the way to one of our old rental farms. I drove by this weekend. They have to be shotgun slugs. I mean, they are huge.
south?
Punch through the
Or to the east?
headed east.
Yeah, I've seen that before. Yeah. Those are shotgun slugs.
Those are new, aren't
Yeah.
they? I don't think.
Oh, no. Those have been
They've
there.
been there?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just so stressed out that I'm
Nobody's
gonna
surprised.
wreck
by
equipment through the deep ditch nearby there.
that. Oh man. The part of the reason I brought this up is my wife hates littering. She was dating this guy in high school. It was the only person she dated until we dated. Dating this guy in high school, and it immediately ended when she saw him throw a McDonald's garbage bag full of garbage out the window of his car. That was it.
I just don't understand it.
I mean, he was like 17, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but still, I mean, just like I don't understand that.
I had a friend in high school who would like hang out in the parking lot, and when he'd drive away, there'd be a pile of trash under his car. Basically, while he was hanging out there, he was like slowly putting stuff under his car.
I only understand accidental littering. Like the thing is, like there's a tag on a
Blows out of
thing,
your
and
car
you
or
like
something.
go, yeah, like it happens to the best of us. But yeah,
Yeah, I can't. There are other gray area things I would do before littering.
I have not done this, so I'm not trying to justify, but I could see if like you had a kid barf all over the car or something, and you're like wanting to get the offensive material out the window.
The
have
child?
not done that. No, like
This
the
is a
barf
very-
rags or something like
very specific
like
experience.
paper towels or something, or like someone crapped their pants or something. They tossed them out the window or something.
Clothes mostly
those will return to nature. Yeah.
Well,
with all their PFAS.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I could, and again, I haven't done any of those things. But if somebody did that, I can be like, okay, I get where you're coming from. But like just throwing the bag of garbage out because you don't want it in there anymore. Come on.
Obviously, endangerment to wildlife, and it's actually a pretty regular endangerment to wildlife. I guess the amount of rodents that ingest some of this stuff and then die because of it is large. I didn't know that. Microplastics.
Turns out they're just ingesting fast food.
yeah.
stuff that we eat all the time.
McDonald's is deadly after all. It's just-
You want to hear the part that might make you a little upset, might make you a little heated?
the beer, the 6-pack rings getting around the sea turtles fit or flippers or whatever.
That's definitely a thing.
That's what happens to every single one of those that gets littered. It finds
Finds a sea turtle.
Those things go together.
Yeah. No, 87% of all litter in the United States is on the roadside of rural America.
doesn't surprise me.
So you go to a city
Yeah.
and you see all that litter.
That's true.
87% is in rural America.
Yeah, there has to be some, I don't know if you'd say a subcultural practice where there are certain people who I think are raised to believe that you get tired of your couch, get tired of your washing machine. I've even seen a couple toilets. You go find a ditch in the country and you throw that thing out there.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea why that happens so frequently. The only thing I can think of is like, well, that's what grandma and grandpa always did, and so people continue the practice because I have seen it many, many times.
Yeah. You know what is interesting, going back to talking about finances and fixing finances first. One, there's kind of the broken window theory, right? If the windows are fixed, people tend to, if there's broken windows, they'll break more windows. If there's litter, they'll litter some more. They feel like it's not a big deal. I remember one of the teachers in college.
Oh, you're saying like, if I drive down a road and I already see a bunch of litter, then I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. It's like, oh, they already treat it
seems less,
crappy.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
And actually, the same thing happens for humans, by the way. If someone, like kids, if they see one kid who has bad self-esteem and treats themselves poorly, has bad self-dialogue, they'll pile on. Oh, you treat yourself. But anyway, so the litter in the roads, Ken, I think you were telling me this. It was a very interesting interview of a lady. Maybe it wasn't you. It was an interview of a lady who was just rioting after the George Floyd stuff. And the interviewee, or the
Does not
interviewer,
sound familiar to me.
was, maybe I heard it on a podcast. The interviewer was like, how can you justify breaking other people's stuff and all these things? And the lady on there was like, breaking property? What are you talking? We don't have any property. And she was saying we as in like black community, but I heard like impoverished people, not because all black people are impoverished. The point being that all like people who are really poor and don't own anything don't have any ownership over anything. And if I don't have ownership of my stuff, I don't know how it feels when someone keys my car. So who cares if I key your car? Why do I give a rip? I don't know how it feels. And then my professor, one of the professors in college, he was saying like, if you want to love your city, go pick up trash in like a 100-meter area. You will love your city. You like start to own it, quote unquote.
If we made kids pick up garbage mandatorily for 2 days every year from 5th grade to 12th grade, I bet your littering would go through the floor.
That is a great point.
I did that as a kid. We do adopt a highway.
Interesting.
With 4-H. And when you pick up garbage in a ditch and you see what gets thrown out and how much of a pain it is to pick up somebody else's inconvenience, it sinks in.
Yeah, and then if they see litter on it again and they get that frustrated feeling, they'll have a little more owner. That is really interesting, Riley.
I mean, not from like a labor perspective. I mean, it would help from a labor perspective, but just from a informational perspective.
Yeah, maybe that's why they do it with prisoners. Not just to pick up, but to have some ownership over.
It's like jury duty. We'll just call it garbage duty, and you'll be given a section of road. And
man. So here is the last, to me, is fascinating. In the 1950s, when we started making a lot of single-use stuff, specifically Coke bottles, corporate America had to run ads to teach people how to throw things away because littering got so bad. Because it wasn't a part, single-use items weren't a part of your life. Everything had a place in your house,
Dolores, what you're going to do with this butter container is open your refrigerator, put some coleslaw in it, put the lid back on it. And put it
That Buzz Lightyear cup that you got at Sloppy Joe's is going to go. It's going to sit in your cabinet until your great grandkids have to clean it out after you pass away.
You're going to keep it until it disintegrates one day in the sun. Yeah.
Oh man, but that was very stark for me because I thought there was an era where there was no single-use anything.
Yeah, that is interesting.
And it wasn't that long ago. Your grandpa was alive and kicking and farming during that time, And so, all that stuff, that was good for me to read. It was like good for my consciousness. Well, it's been a long podcast.
Yeah, it is.
It's hot outside.
We've been all over the place with it, too.
We really have.
Solved all the world's problems.
I wonder
Talked about Project 2025, George Floyd.
Man.
Anything else?
Garbage.
We're working
let's work in some data centers.
Yeah, we're working really hard to get our viewership to be low. The watershed, Athene watershed is where we're going to be hanging out. But if you guys missed that, there are other really cool things going on with PFI, Practical Farmers of Iowa, that they have going on throughout the summer. If you guys are wanting to do that, I encourage you to go to live events, meet people, learn things, hang out, be a human. They're great. We like being at them whenever we can. So we appreciate you all.
You can if you come and see us, you can find out if we each weigh 3 bills or not.
It's getting close. And we'll talk to you again next time.